Sustainability for the Sustainable Manhattan was really extending the golden rule through time, so you don't utilize or use up or drain the capacity of future generations to meet their needs in trying to meet the needs that you presently have.
A city commissioner in Manhattan, Kansas, who also periodically serves as mayor, Bruce Snead spreads the gospel of sustainability as it pertains to the government's impact on local communities. After he was first elected to the City Commission in 1995, he played a key role in developing a project called Sustainable Manhattan.
Sustainable Manhattan was really a pilot project initiated at Kansas State University that accessed a $50,000 grant from EPA at the time to try and engage communities in moving towards sustainability. And so a number of us came together and submitted a proposal and got funding and engaged in about a 2.5 to 3 year realm of activity. And the whole idea was to try and be a catalyst for change towards a more sustainable community.
Following the dedication ceremony, where they and a number of others spoke, the governor and the outgoing mayor of Manhattan cut the ribbon opening the Flint Hills Discovery Center to the public in April of 2012. Planning for the facility began several years earlier, as an attractions committee considered various possibilities for which they might apply for assistance from the state through STAR bonds, a tourism enhancement program. Former Mayor and City Commissioner Bruce Snead was engaged in that process.
The idea was, all right, what do we have? What can we create that will be an attraction that could be used then to secure the STAR bonds? Because that was part of it. It is to increase the revenue, increase tourism, and create an attraction, similar to what has happened, for example, in the Legends area in Kansas City, Kansas. So that committee of about probably 12, 13 people met for several months and said, all right, let's get ideas, let's vet those ideas, discuss those ideas. We looked at everything from riverboat casino to semi-pro baseball diamond and stadium to numerous other ideas. And it was clear that everybody, when we talked about it, said the Flint Hills is our treasure. We live in a treasure that is underappreciated.
In 2006, the state of Kansas awarded the city of Manhattan $50 million in STAR bonds to assist with downtown development and the construction of the Flint Hills Discovery Center. The city subsequently commissioned the creation of a master plan and hired Bob Workman to be the first director of the new center.
Liz and I are thrilled that Bruce is being acknowledged as for the 10th anniversary of the Discovery Center. It seems extremely appropriate. Bruce, since I heard about this, I've been thinking a fair amount about Bruce's role. And for me, it starts with the fact that he was mayor when we arrived for the interview process, and meeting him and getting a sense of his enthusiasm and his commitment. And then what a cool guy he is, just convinced both Liz and I that, we were in good hands. Bruce leading the charge, and then, Ron Fear too, extraordinary individuals. And so that made this project especially exciting for us to come and commit time to realizing. And so, yeah, congratulations, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Hi, everybody. So happy to be able to join you by long distance technology. This is wonderful. You say hi, Jim.
Hi, Bruce.
We were asked to talk a little bit about Bruce's contribution to the Discovery Center and to Flint Hills history and culture, and that was super easy to do. I'm going to go first, and then Jim's going to talk a little bit about his experience with Bruce. I was a member of the technical committee that helped put together the interpretation for the Discovery Center, and Bruce was on board from the very, very beginning. And incredibly supportive. And of course, I was on the board for the foundation and saw firsthand what an incredible effort Bruce made to raise the funds for the Discovery Center. But I wanted to tell this group, because I'm sure he will never tell this group. I think the only persons that know this are us and maybe Marie Martin and Leslie. And yeah, that is that Bruce and Leslie made a substantial financial contribution at the very, very beginning of the Discovery Center's existence. Bruce understood that the city was not going to support all of the parts of the Discovery Center, that there would be required a private investment, and he and Leslie made a substantial contribution to the Discovery Center. I believe it was the first one that went into the foundation's accounts. It was so inspiring. It was not something Jim and I had even thought about. It wasn't on our radar screen at all, and it was so inspiring that we went ahead and did something similar, but without Bruce, we would never have considered doing it. And so Bruce is certainly somebody who follows through with a personal commitment in addition to his public commitment to the things that he cares about, including the Discovery Center and the Flint Hills.
One of the strong themes that has been part of the planning for the Discovery Center is it's about the Flint Hills region. It's not about Manhattan. It's about all the things that are our wonderful attractions in the Flint Hills. So from the get-go, there's been an effort to say we need the participation, involvement, and support of all the surrounding counties and all the surrounding attractions, because we want to drive tourism and attention and visitation to Council Grove and Marysville and St. Mary's and Fort Riley and all the other places that are so unique and wonderful to visit in the Flint Hills.
Hey, Bruce, it's nice to see my brother in a way. We're both born about the same time in the same year, just a few hours apart. So we've always had kind of a connection over about well over 30 years, and got to know Bruce very well over that time period. And he's a consummate community man, believes in community, supports community. He puts into action his own words. And so if Bruce says he wants to do something for the good of the community, you can bank on it. And this is what made working with Bruce such a pleasure, and putting together the Discovery Center. I was happy to work with Bruce, more than happy actually, really thrilled to work with him through the time when the Discovery Center was nothing more than ideas, to the moment that we actually broke ground, to the time that we opened its doors to the public. And Bruce was there every stage of the whole operation. And without his leadership, I think it may not have happened. And so the community and in fact the region owes a great deal to Bruce's foresight, his vision, and his belief in community good.
In working with Bruce Snead for 4 years in the Flint Hills Map and Education program, I found a leader, a colleague, and a trusted friend. First, Bruce is patient. He knew better than I did that our project would take time. Bruce is a consensus builder. He helped reconcile the many goals of our project team, finding a way forward that included the concerns of everyone. Bruce is generous with his time and many skills, willing to show up, to join the team, doing all it takes to keep a group of people moving forward toward a common goal. Finally, Bruce knows the importance of giving recognition to others through this award program and in countless other ways. Dodinsky wrote, "Happy people don't go through life collecting and seeking recognition. They go through life giving it away." By this definition, Bruce Snead must be a very happy man. I'm sure I won't be the first to say this, but here we go. Now it's your turn, Bruce. Thank you.
I have never seen Bruce Snead in a pair of Western boots, but I don't think that was a prerequisite for his passion and commitment to the development of the Flint Hills Discovery Center. Those of you who know Bruce are aware that he can be a matter-of-fact, let's get down to business type fellow. He and others had a vision, and the Discovery Center is that result. If you had several hours to follow Bruce around the Discovery Center, he could tell you about every square inch, the materials used in the building, and why. He could also tell you about design features that are visible and those that are not. And most of all, how the building represents the beautiful Flint Hills. Bruce could be a rather imposing figure when he would suddenly appear in the office doorway, worn satchel in his hand and puffing, sometimes from taking the 77 steps to the third floor offices. He probably took those 77 steps to keep in shape for his beloved game of golf at Stag Hill or Colbert. Bruce would sit down, take a pile of random loose papers out of his satchel and say, "Okay, let's go over this." And from his unique filing system, he would actually be able to find the sheet to be discussed. Bruce does not get all the attention in my comments because his dear wife, Leslie, is the one who stands quietly in the wings with a pleasant smile on her face, which expresses her support of Bruce's life endeavors. She is the one who props him up. Bless you, Leslie. I am sure it has been a full-time job. So congratulations to you, Bruce, for being named the 2022 Friend of the Flint Hills by the Flint Hills Discovery Center Foundation. And what a fitting honor it is on this very special 10th anniversary. And congratulations also to Leslie.
There are many attributes that attracted me to Bruce, but I think it was his energy and enthusiasm, his optimism and good sense of humor that were so unmatched to anyone else I'd ever known. He puts his heart and soul 100% into just about everything he does. If plan A doesn't work, then he tries plan B. If there's an obstacle, then he tries to find a way to work around it. But he doesn't give up and he doesn't quit. That's the kind of commitment and determination he's brought to everything he's worked on in this community, and most especially with the Discovery Center. And I know he would say that the best part has been learning from and collaborating with so many wonderful people who are dedicated to educating the public about the Flint Hills, a place that for almost 46 years we California transplants have come to call home. Bruce's mom always used to say that she tried hard to teach her kids to be enthusiastic. His dad would counter that they probably overdid it a little with Bruce. But I would say that his enthusiasm has most certainly enriched my life, and that this community and the Discovery Center are also its lucky beneficiaries. So congratulations, my love, on this well-deserved recognition. I'm so proud of you. And thanks for making me smile every single day.
Sustainable Manhattan was, just like any other change agent or catalyst, is all about a small group of people that are committed and willing to dedicate time and energy to try and make a difference. And I believe all of us are still making a difference where we work and play and live now.